What's up, guys? So we're back again. Today we are going to be reviewing Hasbro's Marvel Legends The Blob. This is the reissue. And also Neca's Grimsword from Dungeons and Dragons. So we're going to start with The Blob. I don't have the box for this one because this one came a while back, and I wasn't really interested in keeping any of the boxes from Hasbro. But so this is, I purchased this from Big Bad Toy Store for $58. And it came with a, let me just pull it out of the bag. Came in with this secondary head sculpt. It's kind of hard to focus because of the background in the back. So like I said from previous reviews, I think Hasbro is concentrating a lot of their work on the head sculpts and the paint work on that one. So everything you're paying for is going to the head sculpt. So that's it for the accessories. An extra head and 2 extra hands. And then here's the figure. Now, this figure, in terms of nostalgia and what I want from it, it's the Blob. So for anybody who's collecting Marvel Legends, anybody who's collecting X-Men, you needed to get the Blob because he's part of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants originally. So luckily they just reissued the Toad and this one, and I think that pretty much covers it except for that guy. I don't know what his name is, but he was wearing some sort of long overcoat. But anyway, the Blob is a reissue. He used to be a Build-A-Figure, as most of you probably know. And he was issued in the very early days of Hasbro's Marvel Legends as a Build-A-Figure. So in the aftermarket, he's going to be hard to find. If you're building Build-A-Figures or buying Build-A-Figures from aftermarket, you know that you're probably going to be spending over $40 to $55 for the average Build-A-Figures, and then for the more in-demand Build-A-Figures, you're probably going to be spending about $75 to $85. So when they announced this being $55 or $58, it wasn't really much of a brainer for me because I needed to get this figure. $58 would have been around the same price I probably would have paid for it. If I was lucky, I probably would have gotten for $40. But I've been looking all this time and I have not been able to find him at that price. So when it came out, yeah, I had to buy it. So we'll go back to the value later on, but so here's the face that I have him on with, the screaming face. As you can see, the paint work on the faces of Hasbro, I cannot fault them for what they're able to do. Hold on a second while I shift this really quick to the side so we don't see Grimsword and have him focus on him. I mean, you can't fault it. I wish it had been cheaper, but what can you do? So he does that, and then he'll do this for the shoulders all around, right? And then his bicep swivel is basically hidden in the elbow over here. You're not going to be able to use that joint much for double joints. It's nicely hidden, even though it's a big I kind of like how they designed it so it goes all the way down to here. So it's there, but it's I think it's hidden more in that way. Then you have the wrist swivel, and then this one. The swivel is basically here in the upper chest area. There's no waist swivel, and then he goes up like that. Single joint. He does have a thigh cut. The ankle articulation is very, very limited. I mean, you can get it like this, but you know, he's the figure by itself. He you don't really see him as somebody who's very, very mobile, or you don't really need him to be in any kind of pose or anything to get the full value of what the figure does, or the character does, you know. He's the Blob. All he does is stand there and absorbs whatever blows you give him. And I think his most disgusting feature is, like, I think he can basically absorb you in a way, not like the way Clayface does, but you know, yeah. Well, anyway, there's the Blob. He's $58, like I said. I wish for $35. I think the value of this figure is honestly $35. You know, I think he came in with 5 figures, maybe 6. I can't remember, but at six figures each, let's say you're putting it $5 per figure. That's $30. So, and when it came out at that time, I believe Marvel Legends was around $15 a long, long time ago. They certainly weren't $20 then, but you know, $5 a figure for a Build-A-Figure, 6 figures at the max, that's $30 worth. And I think that's what the value of this figure is. So counting inflation in, maybe 35 to 40, but certainly not $58. But you know, I had to get it because it's a figure that was part of a group that I needed, so I had to pay for it. So that's it for my review of the Blob by Hasbro for Marvel Legends. So now we're going to switch on to Grimsword, which is over here. So this is the reason why I started doing this value comparison when I'm doing this review. Not to knock on Hasbro, because I think my next review will actually showcase a figure they're doing, which is, I think, was worth the value. Not to knock on Hasbro, but it just seems like, especially Marvel Legends, but it just seems like they're, man, whatever they're doing, it just doesn't seem right, right? So this is Grimsword, Neca from Dungeons and Dragons. So we're gonna start off with this box just to do it justice, right? There are very, very few lines that I actually want to save the box. Not want to, but it felt like I had to because of the work that they do, the stuff that they... I'm sorry about the glare, but you know, it's a high quality box. It's, as you can see with the glare, it's not like flat, it's not a flat coloring on the box. What I mean by that is, let me bring in this Masterverse. This is the Masterverse for Mattel, and not to knock on Mattel, because I love the artwork that they're doing in this one. Mattel, I almost want to save this box, but not really, because you know, this feels like a toy box, right? It feels like a toy box. The artwork is premium. I wish I could save the artwork, but it's cut over here. It's got these two over here, so it's not worth it. Mattel, I almost want to save it, but in the end, I'm not. NECA, it's not even a question. Look at the artwork over here, and it's not like they're doing injustice to the artwork that they paid for, obviously, by cutting into the artwork, like as you saw with Masterverse. You do see these, but you know, when you think about movie posters, oh man, I'm sorry about bringing this in again. Again, this is NECA. Here's a movie poster example, right? Even has this. I think this is actually basically from the movie poster. So anyway, very similarly to a movie poster, you'll see these print work anyway. So it's not out of place, right? I don't feel like it's out of place. Look at the side box of this one. So this one is the actual figure, Again, I apologize for the glare. But the actual figure, the way they photographed it, is very, very nice. Right? It's almost very reminiscent of the poster work here. And this is the figure you're getting. Look at how they did this. Now, you don't need to buy this figure. Just go, if you can find it at your local Target, because I believe Neca is only in Target. You can check out this box itself, and the box itself is going to entice you to buy this figure. And here's the inside, right? So this is even displayable. You can play with this toy. You can play with this toy and put it back in the box because it's very, very collector friendly. Anyway, so in terms of the box, nobody beats Neca. Nobody beats Neca. If you're a collectible or collectible type of collector, not just in terms of toy sake, which is what Marvel is, Hasbro's stuff is, and not to knock on Mattel. Same thing with Mattel. It's for toys, so you can get rid of the box. Neca, they think of the collectors. So that's it for the box. No, nothing beats Neca. Nothing. There are lines that I collect that think of the box in terms of the way Neca does, but in terms of toys, nobody beats them. Maybe what's that other one? I forget. Anyway, so what are you getting for this figure? Is $38. $38, $58. Same size, right? Same size of a figure. Obviously the mass is more in this one. I feel like this, they have the same type of plastic, unlike when I reviewed the Cyclops, where it felt gummy, the plastic. I feel like their plastic is the same in terms of solidness. Okay, $38. What we're gonna do right now is we're gonna go to articulation, because we'll go with articulation first, and then the paintwork, and then accessories, and then the value. So, articulation. It's in a ball joint here and also on the neck. That gives you a lot of range of movement for the head. I'm sorry, it's kind of weird to work with the setup that I have right now. So I have to look at the camera, make sure you guys are setting it. And then you have, for the shoulder over here, you have the full range as it goes up and down. Just be very careful, obviously. I don't know why Neca has this why some reviewers see Neca as their joints being unreliable. I've never had that experience, luckily. So, but I do tend to be very, very careful with my figures, as I said before. Bicep swivel. Obviously the elbow, you're going to be limited by the design of the armor. I don't fault Neca on that. It does have an elbow joint over here, okay, and has the wrist swivel up and side to side. I feel like if I move this over here so it's not focusing on the backyard. Okay, now again, the design of the armor over here is going to limit your other shoulder over here. I would say maybe up to that. I really, when you move this figure over here, you have to be careful not to touch it, move it, hold it too much over here. You want to support it here. I feel that's the best way to do it. Okay. And then again, because of the design of the armor over here, you're going to be limited in the elbow, wrist again over here. You do have a waist swivel, which is, you know, because of the design of the figure, you can't have an ab crunch over here. This is some sort of soft rubber. I think it's separate from the upper armor because that's hard. All right, and then you have Limited on the waist, the upper leg joint over here. It does not have a thigh cut, does not have it, but you do have that twist because it's a ball joint over here. A little bit. I think that's more than enough. And then for the knee articulation, be very careful when you do this because you need to make sure you know where the actual cut is, because it does have a knee swivel over here as also a joint like so. Okay, so that allows you to move the lower part of the leg like so on top of the the thigh bicep over here. Okay, up and down on the ankle, be very careful again. I did not heat this up, so it's kind of limited as far as I can see. This is kind of like a softer plastic, so it's very limited in terms of like the ankle articulation. I would say that's basically it. It does have a swivel, as you can see. Okay, that's really cool though. Okay, paintwork. Let me just twist this down. Okay, as you can see, it's basic black, but that's basically because of the way the figure is. It's painted with all these brushwork over here, so it's not just flat black. I apologize for that. So it's not just flat black. You have this painted part over here again. Very nice silver brushwork over here. It's got some sort of black wash over here. So even though it's just black, it's not just flat black. You can see a lot of detail coming in on this armor work. You know what I mean? Very nice. And then you have this textured sculptural work on the armor. Very, very nice details. The snake's tongue goes up the way over here, and then it has this kind of like fang work over here. I love this figure. Now, I love this figure. I don't know anything about this figure. I did not grow up on Dungeons and Dragons. I don't even know anything about this cartoons. I know the Dungeons and Dragons game, the D&D, but not the cartoon. I don't know anything about the D&D game. I don't know anything about this figure. But when I first saw the review on this guy, I can't remember whose review it was, but I was just so blown by the amount of detail that you're getting on this figure that I just like, you know what? Pre-order and bought it. It wasn't even a question. So in terms of nostalgia value, it's literally zero for me. I don't know anything about this figure. Nothing about this figure's history compels me to buy this. I have nothing in this line. And yet the figure itself, the way it was done, it just wanted you to buy it. Just wanted you to buy it. Here's the shield it comes with. It has the straps, so it doesn't have that clip on. Looks like an actual shield. Right? Look at if you can see, I'm not sure if it's capturing it. Do you guys see the texturing that's going on in the back over here? Like it's an actual planks of wood that was put together as any shield maker would do. Right? And then you have the wash again, the leather work over here, the wash of the black, the wash of the silver, the wash over here of the metal bands. Then you have that snake face again. Amazing. So it has this club or mace That looks so scary. It is sharp. Be very careful. It does have that silver wash. This in itself is amazing. The amount of detail they're putting in this maze. I'm trying to focus it on the snake. It's still focusing on the background. Stop focusing on the background. Just won't do it. Just won't let me do justice on the work that was put on this. Look at that tiny tongue coming out of that snake. They didn't have to do that, but it's, you know, it's there. Amazing. Here's a sword. Look at the paintwork on this, on the sword itself. It's not just a flat silver. Like, so unfair to do this for Mattel because I really do like this figure. Compare these two. Let me see. Let me just get this out of the background so that it would focus properly, because I feel like it needed to be done justice, right? Is it focused enough? I'm not sure if it's showing. Like, this one looks like plastic. This one feels more closer to metal. Obviously it's not, but the paint application that they did on this one, it's not just flat silver. There are some sort of wash going on over here. Then the hilt is not just, I mean, the hilt is painted as well too. Amazing. All right. Hands. You guys know it comes with 2 hands over here. How many more hands does it actually need? Can I hold it up? Let's see. 1. Okay. Has this pointed finger hand. All right. That's 3rd hand. Is the other hand that points. All right. 4 hands. Holding hands. Holding something hands. So that's 6 hands. Close-fisted hands. 8 hands. Comes with 4 pairs of hands. This is $38, guys. Let me back this off a little bit. It's kind of black on the background, so you guys can't see it too well. Let me see if I have something. I feel like I need to do this to justify this, right? That's what you're getting for $38. Neca. Grimsword. Dungeons and Dragons. In terms of value, compared to this one. Oh, by the way, this is also $38. Masterverse. It doesn't seem like it's coming with a lot, but it actually comes with a second head, this sword, this knife, this blaster, this knife. And trying to see, does it come with any other extra hands? Let me see. No. I'm not doing a review on this one, but I just want to, in terms of value, $38, $58. Good value, excellent value, because good value in this one because it comes with all that stuff. Excellent value in this one because the box is excellent, the figure is excellent, the paint application is excellent, accessories are overwhelmingly excellent. Articulation bangs it down a little bit, but I can forgive it because of the armor pieces over here. This, yeah, value in this one goes down, even though nostalgia is high in this one. Nostalgia is extremely high in this one. I have no knowledge of this figure, and yet the value is so much more in this one for me. As a collector, as a toy enthusiast, I'm just amazed at how much work went into this figure. And I feel like that's what you're going to be seeing. I'm reviewing Hudson from Neca, Dracula from Neca. I'm also reviewing their Warduke. I feel like that's what you're going to be getting on all my reviews with Neca. It's going to be unfair. It might seem unfair. I'm not sure if this is helping you guys with this review that I'm doing, if it's making sense. I'm not knocking on Hasbro. As you'll see, I do have some Hasbro figures that I love. They know what they need to do to make it right, but it just seems like they're going out of their way to collect as much money as you can for something that's not allowed, because this is a reissue, guys. Remember, this is a reissue. They already have the molds for this, guys. The only improvement they've done on this one compared to the old one is the paint application, right? They have everything. The two heads, extra set of hands, that's all from the reissue. That's, oh wait, no, that's all from the old figure. Okay, there is nothing completely different about this one than the other one except for the paint application. And it's $58. $38. $38. That's $20 more than this one. Anyway, if you guys are watching this, comment if you feel like I should continue with the way I'm reviewing this. That I'm kind of pitting one company against another in a way. But I feel like as part of the review, this helps me and you to determine the value of the figure, and it might help you to decide whether it's worth it or not. Because honestly, it feels like I am moving out of the Hasbro Marvel Legends collection, because I almost have everything from Marvel, and I'm at that point where I don't want different iterations of a character because they come from different groups or different time periods. I feel like I have enough of the collection to say I can pick and choose, you know. But anyway, thank you for watching. Please leave a comment on the value portion that I'm trying to do, because I feel like that helps you guys more in terms of whether you want to buy something or not. Thank you for watching. I hope you'll watch again on the next review. You guys have a nice day.